Hello and welcome to this Affinity Photo Beginner's Guide Part 15, where I want to look at using styles, and then if you then sort of think you've made a mistake, how to undo the use of styles. Now, styles is a tab that is found over here on the right with the layers, adjustment, effects and stock tab. But if you haven't got yours in view, you can come up to the view menu, down to studio, and then you just need to come down to styles and just click on it, and then that will open up that tab. Now basically, when you see, click on the styles tab, you just get all these cogs with these different looks on them, and these will just add sort of effects to sort of shapes and text and things like that. I'm not going to go too much in depth about, especially about making styles and things like that, because there are plenty of videos out there about that. This is just sort of a very quick glance at using them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a rectangle shape on this document that I've set up, and then I'm going to just add a bit of text, and it says it's, there we go, and then let's just reduce that in size a bit so it fits on the page. And there we go, and let's just quickly center that. So we've now got, in the layers, we've got the background which I made and the text which I've made. Now, styles can be added to other things, and you may get varying degrees of success with them, but I think they're mainly aimed at sort of adding them to shapes, be they the rectangle that I've made here or any of these other shapes, or to text. And if let me just hide this text for a second, and we'll just look at the background. If you click on any style, it will add whatever the effects are to that shape, and you can click through them and add this effect to your backgrounds and find the one that you like. Now, the default ones obviously that come with the program, but you can download others and you can make your own. Because you can see, I've got quite a lot that I've downloaded over the many years I've been using this program, and so you can make your own or download them. But like I said, that is a more advanced video, and I will add links to any that I know about in the description for this video. So like I said, you can add these styles to the shapes. Now when you come to the text, the same thing will apply. You just click on the style, and I must still be highlighted on the background. Yes, I am. Highlight the layer with the text on, and then let's try another style on the text. Now if you wanted to, let me just, that blue is a bit garish. Let's try that one there. So I'll come back and make sure the text is highlighted, and we'll go for that one. So as you can see, when I click on the styles, it affects the whole of the text that is highlighted. Now, if you wanted to sort of have different effect on the different letters within that text, you would have to first of all make sure that the layer with the text on is highlighted, and then come up to, I keep forgetting where this is. It's on the layers menu, and come down to convert to curves. And what that will do, it will split up the text and make that into a group, and each individual letter has its own layer. So now I could highlight on, let's leave the C as it is, I'll select the A, come to the styles and change that, go back to the other, then pick the R and pick a different one and finish off with the L, and where should we go? We'll try that one. So there we go. So you've got each individual letter with a different style, and the background again has a different style. Now this last bit was about undoing the use of a style. There was a question in a Facebook page the other day about somebody wanted to know how to sort of, once they'd added a style, if they didn't like it, sort of how did they get rid of it. To a certain extent, if all you've got is that particular style, text, say text for example, and that was the last thing you did and you tried the style, the easiest thing to do would be to go to the history tab and sort of go back to, so like where I converted this to curves for example, and that will go back and it will sort of undo me making these three letters a different style altogether. Or if you really wanted to go back to, let's try that one. This is where I was trying different backgrounds, so we can go right back to there. So using the history is a good way of going back to a point before you actually started using the styles. That's probably the quickest way. But if I go back to, where is it, there, if I got to this point here and I was then, let's say I was adding, I don't know, well, add a couple of adjustments above. So let's say you've got some styles here and you've added some extra layers, and then you decide that you don't like those styles. Well, if you don't want to lose whatever it is you've added above, you are sort of, you can't really use the history option to go backwards, because you're trying to keep whatever layers it is you have above this selection. But what you can do, and is what you got to remember, is a style is basically just an effect. So when you, on the layers panel, when you look at the layers panel, you have this FX icon up here, and it's the same as the FX icon down here, but this will just open up the effects panel, because really all styles are just presets for effects. So if I double click on this icon, it opens up the sort of layer effects, and as you can see, it has got this bevel and emboss ticked. So if I undo that, it should, what letter have I done it on? The L. Yeah, because it was bevel and emboss. So I've undone that one. But as you can see, there's obviously still some effects going on, and that is down to the colour option, which is up here, and also over here in the fill, because as you can see it has got this gradient added to it as well. So you can adjust the gradient and get it back to a normal colour, or you can just click on this box up here and say put it back to black. And if we have a look at one of the other ones, say the C for example, click on this icon, and as you can see this has got quite a lot of effects, so you just have to turn them all off. And you could change the colour from here as well and just get this back to black. It should do, and if it doesn't, you can do it. Let's do it from up here this time. We'll just get this back to being black. So that is how you can undo the adding of a style, either by the history if it was the last thing you did, or even the undo button. Not button, it's so up here you can sort of undo with Control plus Z or Command plus Z. So you've got the history, you have the undo, or you can individually take off the effects and bring the colours back to where they should be, depending on what it is you've done to your particular project. So hopefully that very quick look at styles, how to add them, and how to, more importantly, how to take them off if you don't want them. Hopefully that has been helpful, and like I said, I will add links to other videos about styles in the description to this video. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.